Hey everyone, I'm Mythic. Welcome to the channel as always. Today I'm going to be showing you all the best settings for Streamlabs OBS or OBS in general. They're pretty much the same. This is really key stuff. If you don't get these settings right, your stream's not going to look as good. You're not going to engage your viewers as much because you want that high quality. You want those settings right. So I'm going to show you the ins and outs of how to do that. As always, if you do find this video helpful, do please like the stream. It takes 2 seconds for you to like it, and it really helps the channel. Let me also know in the comments down below if it was helpful, if you'd like to see any other videos, and then I can help you with that as well. And please do subscribe for more videos like this, as well as the retro gaming live streams I do. We're trying to make 1,000 subscribers and really appreciate your help. So we're going to roll a title. We're going to get straight into it. Roll it. Hey all of you, welcome back. As I said, short intro, and we're going to crack back on. So this is going to be all about the settings. There are a lot of settings. They're quite confusing. They're not necessarily that straightforward, but I want to try and show you how I go through quite a learning process. I really like trying to learn this stuff. So I do a lot of research, and hopefully this will help you get an awesome stream. So we're talking about the settings you can see on a stream. Let me go over to this different setting here so you guys can see what I can see. So you can now see my Streamlabs OBS here, and we're going to be looking at the settings. So the settings wheel down here in Streamlabs OBS is down here, and you're going to click on these settings. You're going to get this box up down here, and we're going to go through them one by one, and then actually please do wait to the end of the video, because I am going to go through how you can pick exactly what your bitrate needs to be, but that involves doing a website. So I'm going to go through all the other settings first, so stick around to the end to find out how you can precisely calculate your bitrate. And it's not as simple as using speedtest.net. That doesn't work. That is wrong. So you need to stick around. Very important. Okay, under the General tab, you've got this at the top. You don't really need to do it. It even says deleting the cache directory will cause you to lose some settings, blah, blah, blah. This is like a last-ditch resort as regards to how you can basically get your stream. If you've got catastrophic errors, this is kind of what you're looking at. Under here, you've got things like confirm stream title game before going live, disable hardware acceleration, all this sort of stuff. So if you forget, if you know, on Twitch or whatever platform you're streaming to, if you're very commonly forget to change your stream title or whatever, this is a really good box to tick. I've got my own processes for doing that. I may do a separate video. If you do want to see that video, let me know down below. There's a process that I go through, so I don't forget this. You've got the language, output settings, you know, so you can do things like show confirmation dialog box when the stream is starting. So all these little reminders, automatically record when streaming. You can do this. I mean, if you're using YouTube, you can put your VODs live anyway, and Twitch, you can go do that as well. But however, if you want to edit down videos and you want to have your content locally on your machine, you might want to record your stream automatically. But to be honest with you, I kind of find that you can literally just go onto YouTube, download the video. You can go onto Twitch, you can download the video, and you're not slowing your PC down, especially if you're running a one PC setup, by recording and streaming at the same time. So I personally wouldn't recommend using that. I would just download the VODs. Okay, source alignment snapping. This is quite helpful when organizing your overlays and so on and so forth. And again, I know I keep saying this, but there will be these videos coming soon. How to set up overlays, how to make things work, and so on and so forth. So, but snapping is quite helpful. It lets you pull things to the edge of the screen. It makes it a lot easier to align. So it's certainly something I would consider using. Stream, I can click on it. You're not going to see anything. This is just where you put your stream details in. So streaming service, I use Restream.io, so I can stream to YouTube and Twitch at the same time. And then you put the stream key in once you've signed into Restream.io. But if you're just using Twitch or just using YouTube, this is under your settings. It's your stream key. This is where that needs to go. Output, right. This is where the beef of everything starts coming in. Output mode. To start off with, you want to get it on advanced. Okay? Most important. Get it on advanced. Okay. Audio tracks. Okay, audio tracks, because we're recording, I can't sort of mess with this too much, but you don't really need to see the settings. The settings I've got here, I can explain. You don't really need to look at the others. So audio tracks 1, okay? Now, if you are recording content and, for example, you've got your PC volume, so your desktop audio on track number 1, you've got your mic volume on track number 2, and you've got, for example, Discord chat, for example, on track number 3. You can put down 3 audio tracks. So when you go to edit in whatever your favorite editing software is for video, you can essentially isolate those tracks. So for example, if someone's having a total swear fest on Discord and you don't want that in your YouTube video, you can mute that individual track and obviously still keep what you're saying, still keep what the gameplay is going on. And that's obviously really quite key, because obviously if you've got a video that's got loads of swearing and you've got one track, your only option is to mute the whole section or start putting beeps in. If you've got individual tracks, it actually allows you to have a lot more control over your video. But that's, again, if you're recording a VOD, that you want to edit afterwards. Encoder settings. So you've got X264, hardware NVENC, and hardware NVENC new. So hardware NVENC, this is basically using your graphics card to help encode your stream. So if you've got quite a meaty graphics card, you can use the power within that graphics card to help encode your stream. Streaming is very CPU intensive. You can actually see down here, my CPU usage is actually only down at 3%. Got 60 FPS and so on and so forth. I've got quite a meaty CPU, but I also run dual SLI graphics cards at the same time. So I've got two 1070 Cerberus 1070 Ti Cerberus edition graphics cards in there that you bench them up, they come out better than a 2080 RX. It's pretty mad. So the rules are, if you've got a meaty graphics card and you're playing not super high level games, go hardware NVENC. If you've got a really mad processor, but you want to utilize your graphics card more for your games, you can go for the X264 settings. This one I would kind of experiment with. If you've got a decent graphics card, I would always say use hardware NVENC. I know I'm going to go into quite a lot of detail in this, so do bear with me, but I do want to cover everything thoroughly. I've watched so many of these videos, and no one explains anything enough, and I'm kind of like, they just go, do this, put this one on, change that, and I'm like, that's not helpful. You've just told me what to do, and I don't understand any of it, so I'm going to try and hopefully help you guys and girls understand it as well. Okay, your rate control is CBR, which actually stands for constant bit rate. I can't remember what the other settings are under there. You basically just want CBR. You want that constant bit rate going through. You don't want a variable bit rate. What a variable, I think it's VBR as well, variable bit rate. It can get jumps, and it's just CBR is the better one. Right, this bit rate setting in here, at the end of the video, I'm going to cut away. I'm going to show you the website to calculate exactly what this is. It's really important, this number. Yeah, I will show you at the end. Keyframe intervals. Okay, so seconds. So if you have this set to 0, it automatically decides what you want. Okay, so 0, it will try and calculate it for you. If you're using high refresh games, so things that are quite, movement speed intensive, so things like Fortnite, things like Call of Duty, stuff like that. If you're streaming those sorts of games, you want quite a low interval. The more you step it up, so I play a lot of retro games, so I don't need those keyframes. So it's like take a snapshot, 1 2, take a snapshot, 1 2. So obviously the shorter those keyframes are, the more detail you're packing in. So if you're not playing super intensive games, something like 2 is great. If you're playing something kind of intensive, I'd stick it on 1. If you don't really want to guess, you can put it on 0, but I think actually picking the keyframe, the good thing about picking it, it's one less calculation your PC's having to do. Your presets under here, you've got max quality, high quality, best quality, performance, and blah, 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 all these things. The highest setting is max quality. This is going to be your setup dependent, okay? So to give you an idea of what I'm running. I am running. In fact, let me get my setup up so you guys and girls can see. My settings are this. So I've got AMD Ryzen 7 3800 8-core running at 3.9 currently. It'll overclock to 4.5, I think. I've got 32 gig of RAM. I've got a ridiculous amount of RAM, which is not necessary. You don't need it. I just, because I do a lot of video editing and I do stuff like that as well, it makes a big difference. It's helpful. So that's kind of an idea in the settings. So 32 gig RAM, I say, and dual Ryzen 7, dual 1070 Ti graphics cards. Max quality for me is absolutely fine. That's not a problem. It works great. I'm also running sort of dedicated SSDs. So one recommendation I would have, if you can have things compartmentalized. So for example, I've got an M.2 drive for Windows. I then actually have a dedicated SSD purely for things that I use for streaming. It's just got OBS on. It's got the games that I play. It's dedicated for all the things I use for streaming. I've then got a separate one for games. I've then got a separate one just for Adobe Suite. That's really involved. It's stupid, it's dumb, but it works. So what I would recommend is if you've got 3 hard drives available, one for Windows, one for everyday crap, and then another one just with all your streaming set up on, because then that way it's just going to be super quick. So that would be a really good recommendation. This preset quality, if you've got a mad PC, max quality. If you've got a bit less, drop it down, drop it down, drop it down. But to be honest with you, the top 3 settings, which I think is max quality, high quality, best quality, any of the top 3, you won't notice much of a difference. If you can get away with max quality, go with max quality. Psycho visual tuning for the GPU, you do want to turn on. I must admit, I've tried to work out loads of bits to do with why and so on and so forth. The answer is don't really know. You do want it on, it works better. GPU levers 0, max B frames levers 2. That's where we're at so far. Output. I know this is super involved. I hope it's helpful. If it is helpful so far, smash the like button, all that fun stuff. Audio. Okay, this is a really key one again. So on here, you've got sample rate 44.1 kilohertz. Okay, you can see that up there, or 4800 kilohertz. Channels in stereo, mono 2.1, 4.0, 7.1 surround sound, blah, blah. As a general rule for streaming, and just the way streaming works, stereo is fine. What is kind of important, though, is this number here, 44.1 kilohertz. Let me just get another screen up for you. With the new stupid Windows 10 that still doesn't work, you open up sound settings. For those who don't know, you open up sound settings, okay? And then right over here, you then have sound control panel. It used to be easy to get to. It now sucks, okay? So, sound control panel. I'm assuming you can all see this behind this, right? Here we go. Yeah, sound control panel. Okay, cool. So what you need to marry up is this. So, for example, under recording device, where are we at? Blue Yeti. Okay, cool. So you can go to properties, and then right at the back, under all of your device setting, you get to advanced, and you've got this here. 2 channel, 16-bit, 44-100 kilohertz, CD quality. You've got a drop down. You've got a few options. 44-100 kilohertz CD quality, 48-100 hertz DVD quality. I perfectly find my sound is fine. I do some clever things with Voice Meter Banana. Again, if you want to see a Voice Meter Banana demonstration, how to set all of that stuff up, and believe me, it makes a freaking huge difference. You can have the crappiest microphone in the world and you can make it sound studio amazing. Okay, so that's the thing there. I use 44-100 hertz because lots of things seem to eventually they tend to top out at that. So playback, for example, you go to the Razer Noma Chroma, that's all spatial sound, advanced, 4800 hertz. It's the only option for those speakers, but I'm using my desktop audio. So this is your line. This is my virtual audio cable. This comes in here again, advanced, 44-100 hertz. That's why I've opted for 44-100 hertz across the board. Once you start playing around with Voice Meter Banana, you kind of get blocked into this. But however, the thing is, you must make sure your mic, your game, everything else, if you're setting this to 44-100 hertz, everything needs to be running at 44-100 hertz. That's really important. Wow, that went really big and wasn't kind of plan. Okay, cool. Desktop audio device 1 is my Razer Chroma speakers. That's where my volume is coming out of. Yeah, that's my main desktop audio source. Because I'm not playing first-person games, a lot of the time I don't play with headphones on. I've got my mic set up in such a way that you don't get feedback. If you are playing with headphones on, for the bulk of what you do, your desktop audio sound would be coming through your headphones. So that's what's going in there. Desktop audio device 2, I don't use one, but you could set a second one up. You could have your second desktop audio device as headphones, if that's what you want it as, and have 2, switch between them. My mic is actually a Blue Yeti. So, for example, if you had a Blue Yeti mic or a Rode mic or whatever, that's where your mic details goes in. I've got this cable output. Again, I'll do a voice meter video if you guys and girls all want that. Those are your settings for there. Okay, video settings. This is kind of where it gets interesting, controversial, blah, 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 blah. It's up to you to decide. So I stream at 1080p. The reason I do this mainly is because my computer allows it. It gives you obviously better quality. You know, lots of you understand the difference between 720p and 1080p. What I would recommend for most streamers is to stream at 720p. It's a lot less demanding on your CPU, your graphics card, your PC in general, and it will make a massive, massive difference. Now, I always put my VODs live on YouTube as well afterwards, so I really do want that quality feel to them, and my PC can support it. However, what's relevant is the information that you can change after it and how this is set up and why it's set up in such a way. So on here, you've got your base canvas resolution. Your base canvas resolution, if you right-click your desktop and click display settings, you'll find this little chestnut here. And your main monitor that you're streaming on, mine is my center monitor here, and the display resolution is 1920 by 1080. That's the important bit. So that's your base canvas resolution. That's what goes in here. Now, what I suggest you all do, depending on... It's what I would suggest. Most people, unless you've got a stupid PC, I would downscale. Downscale to 1280 by 720, because to be honest with you, most people won't see the difference. Lots of people watch on phones. Lots of people watch on tablets. You're not really going to see the benefit in this as someone's harked up in front of their computer or watching it on a massive TV or whatever they're doing. You know, 720 will be absolutely fine. If you are then downscaling down to 720, you want to put the downscale filter onto this Lancos 720 samples. Basically, it's just taking samples as it downscales. You get a clearer image. If your PC can hack this, this is the one you want. If you find it a bit laggy, use the bicubic. Bilinear, what you'll find out is if you are downscaling, it will do exactly what it says. It's fast, but it's blurry. Now, because I'm not doing any downscaling at all, I use the bilinear settings, and that's the settings to use. And then a common FPS values and 60 FPS. Now, if you're playing really high-intensity games, you will probably maybe notice the 60 FPS. Most people don't. Most people can't tell the difference. So if you're trying to gather some speed for your system, if you're trying to make your stream look better, do 720, landscape scaling, and then FPS of 30. You will notice the difference. This will speed up your stream no end. Trust me. 1920, downscale to 720, Lancos, common FPS, 30 frames will make a massive difference. Check those settings out. Hotkeys, not that important. You can set up hotkeys to do stuff. Advanced, right? Under advanced, this here, the process priority. So this is the process of Streamlabs. So Streamlabs is a process within Task Manager, and you want this to be above normal. It's set to normal. By setting the process of Streamlabs to above normal, it bumps it up the priority list above a few of the other pieces of software you've either got running in the background, and gives that application higher priority, and it makes it run faster. So that really helps. Okay. So I would strongly recommend bumping up to above normal. Lots of people tell you, "Oh, don't touch advanced." That's one of the ones that's worth touching. You know, go change that. I've managed to change this. Settings. There you go. Cool. Okay. Audio monitoring devices. These color frames, leave all this. This is fine. You don't need to change it. Set it up like this. It's the default setting. Okay. Recording, you can pick a file name, blah, blah. Replay buffers, stream delay. So if you're streaming competitions and you need to put a stream delay in for some reason, lots of league people want you to put a stream delay in. This is where you can add that. You got your automatically reconnect, your network stuff, and blah, 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 blah. All of that needs to stay the same. After this, game overlay, you know, enable in-game overlay. Scene collection. So this is where you can keep all your scenes and stuff together. Notifications as to how often, you know, if the computer if Streamlabs detects a skipped frame, this will get you to your skipped frame threshold, so on and so forth. And then when you detect dropped frames and all that sort of stuff. Appearance, this is just whether you're in night mode and all that sort of jazz and so on and so forth. And then face masks, if that's something you want to do. I thought it was a great idea, and then I just turned it off because I think I just decided it was naff. Okay, so after that, where are we at? Let me just double check. I've shown you everything. Okay, yes, because I didn't point this out because I forgot. Under here, under output, it says enforce streaming service encoder settings. Untick it. Okay? Because if you're streaming to Twitch, Twitch will try and give you its settings. You don't want it to give it its settings. You want to use your settings because you know better. So untick this. Apart from that, that is basically your settings for setting up Twitch to make sure it runs well. Setting up Twitch, setting up Streamlabs OBS to make sure it runs well. Let me go back to my other settings. So down here, piece to camera. Boom. All right, let me go over here. Cool. So I can then look at the screen and look at you. So that's basically it. I'm going to do a little cut, and I'm going to now show you how you can find out exactly what your bitrate is the right way. Okay, here we are, the important bit. The bit that everyone guesses at, the bit that says, oh, you should probably do this, probably do that, probably do the other. This is how you find out exactly. You're going to go to a site called testmy.net. Speedtest.net literally just tells you your upload and download speed from your provider. That's nonsense. You're not uploading anything. It's just predicted. So what you're going to do is you, as a streamer, are uploading information from your PC to the internet, to your streaming service provider, and you want to do a test my upload speed, okay? You want to do then a manual test size, okay? And you're going to do a 50 meg test size. And what that's then going to do, that's going to then go through this process. So what that's now doing, that is now uploading 50 megs of data from your PC to the internet. So this is a real world test. This is what you're doing when you're streaming. You're literally going, here is my information, here is my game, here is my video, here is everything, all that, and it's just pushing it onto the internet. This is doing the same thing. So this is real world. It's not your service provider. It's not like, oh, this is what we think you can get. This is what it actually is. And this is going to dictate the number that you put in your kilobits per Ujamaflit section that we were talking about. We're almost done, so 80, 90%, and then ping. Cool, and it's going to tell you this. 8.3 megabits per second. So it's my upload speed, my average host compared to my city's average, blah, 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 GB average, and then world average, blah, blah, blah. I live in the middle of nowhere. So this is all the information you've got here. So essentially you upload at 8,000 8,000. So you add thousands on the end. So it's 8,300 megabits per second at 50 meg proper upload speed. Boom. You now know that number. Let me drag this back over here, and you can go to settings and then go back down to stream. No. Video. No. Output. There we go. Bitrate. Okay, so bitrate up to 8,400 and blah, 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 and so on and so forth. Here's the other thing now. So I believe, in fact, I'm going to Google it for you now. I'm going to go for it literally live. Hang on. How fast will Twitch let me have my bitrate? I'm literally doing this live for you. There we go. There you go. Twitch specifies a maximum bitrate, bits transfer per seconds of video of 6,000 kilobits. So it's pointless going any higher because it's probably not going to let you do any higher. A good amount is somewhere between 3,500 and 4,500 is a good rate. The reason this number is important is when you've not got that great an internet, you really need to know what this information is, because this is what's actually going to let you be able to stream properly. But that's how you find out exactly what your bit rate is, exactly how it works, and all of that sort of jazzy goodness. And that's it. Let me drag you guys back over there so I can see you properly. That's as complicated as it gets. They're your settings. I'm going to go into some more technical for you later today. If this video helped you, please take the 2 seconds to put a like on the video. It takes me hours to make these. It takes you 2 seconds to scroll down and put a like. Comments is another thing that really helps videos out. Even if it's just a, wow, that really freaking helped. Or, if you show me this as well, that'd be really good. I love hearing your comments. I'll always try and reply the best I can. So yeah, and if you haven't subscribed, please do click on the subscribe button. We're chasing 1,000 subs and get there. Apart from that, I'd just like to say thank you. You're all amazing. Cheers for dropping by, and we will catch you in another video. Peace out, everyone. Peace.
3, 2, 1, go!
Have fun, it's just a game.